I'm gonna name a few teams, and I want everyone to give a grade. An A, B, C, or D. Obviously, you can use plus or minuses.
Based on what?
Based on their transfers only. So if we say AC Milan, what would be everybody's letter?
D for me.
A D?
They didn't get anybody. Hey, you're talking about transfer? We didn't get anybody.
You got Dalot.
Tonali, Haiger.
No, we're talking about the last 10 minutes or the last...
No, the entire transfer market.
I would say a B.
Okay. You thought we were just saying today.
Yeah, I thought it was saying today. Yeah.
No.
B.
So he didn't mean
a B.
A B.
Yeah.
Peter?
We don't have money. How can we afford to be an A? No money, no honey.
What would yours be?
I think I would give it a B minus. The only reason why is because they didn't get a center back. They really should have gotten a center back.
Yeah.
Because you have Gabbia, Kjaer, Musacchio, I don't know, and who else? Who was the other center back?
Well, he plays on the national team. You should know him.
Romagnoli.
But he's injured.
He's
injured.
back.
So I think they needed another center back. They didn't
we
get
needed
that.
2 center back, not 1.
Okay, but 1 for sure, and they didn't get that, and that was a big need. But able to re-sign Ibrahimovic, who before getting COVID,
yes, sir,
was unbelievable. He
yes,
only
sir.
played a game and a half, but it's okay. You signed Tonali for a really, really good price. Could be the future of that Milan midfield. You get who's the other
players?
Brahim
Diaz. He looked good.
Interesting. I'm not too crazy about him, but he's definitely a good player. Who else did they sign? The kid Dalot, Hogg. So there's some
questionable. Yeah.
Some sparks maybe that can be had.
I would say a B plus. I give him a B plus. I'm not going to repeat everything that Peter just said, but I think that Ibra and Tonali were the big things pushing me forward. It would have been an A minus if they would have gotten a center back. I definitely would have put them there, but a B plus for me. What's your score?
I'd probably give it like a C plus. I think their biggest thing they didn't get was defenders, which the biggest thing, a right back, a center back. Tonali, yeah, they got, but it was more of an offload from Inter. Zlatan was gonna resign because he had a good season, so those were like given. But they did good with that. Though I feel like they were givens for the most part.
Next team.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Next team we do is Inter. What does everyone think Inter's rating will be?
With all the money that they have, of course they have. I mean, they keep buying.
What money do we have? We didn't buy anybody.
Oh my God, you didn't buy anybody. You have everything.
What did we buy?
Well, you got what's his name over there, Hakimi,
yeah,
which he actually disappeared on Sunday. I couldn't even know. I didn't
not
even know that he was playing.
One of the better players on the team.
Really, I didn't know that he touched a ball Sunday. All right, so
Peter, let's stick.
Okay, you know what? I'll give him a B plus.
I'm gonna go with Inter. I think Inter did good. I was happy. The only thing, my only concern for Inter was they didn't get a real left wing back. If they got someone like Hakimi on the left side, I would have gave them probably an A. They kept Raja. I was scared he was gonna go 100%. They got Hakimi, one of the best fullbacks in the world. Who else did they get? Kolarov and Skriniar stayed, which is another big one.
Vidal, they brought him.
Vidal,
waste.
They brought in Nainggolan.
Sanchez, they capped, right?
They brought in Nainggolan.
Nainggolan, yeah, that's what I said that. Yeah.
Narmian, Perisic.
B plus, A minus, I'd say very good from Inter.
I would say B plus too. I don't have too much to add to it, but B plus.
I would say
should have gotten maybe another attacker.
A striker, right?
B
for
plus,
Lukaku or
Marco,
something?
they have 40 players.
Sorry, I interrupted Peter.
40 players.
Peter was about to say something.
Oh, we did get another striker.
40 players.
Pinamonti.
Yeah,
so,
but I'm talking about a real one.
Off the bench, Pinamonti is that target striker.
Okay.
Young Italian. You go like this, but he's a young Italian that so far hasn't impressed much, but I think off the bench he could be interesting as a target striker. That being said, I would give Inter
an A minus.
I was thinking A minus, but I'm gonna say B plus.
All right, so I gave them a B plus too. So for one time we agreed with each other. But you guys downloaded.
I'll explain why.
A shame too.
No, he's on loan. Yeah, he needs to play the kid. We got rid of Godin.
I like Godin.
A real center back.
Godin was useless.
And we got Kolarov and Darmian, who are like D'Ambrosio, are players that we don't know if they're left wing backs, center backs, what exactly they play. Good. We were able to keep Skriniar. So I think you're definitely going to have to start Bastoni, De Vrij, Skriniar. We get Hakimi, who at 40 million is a great price. You get Vidal for free. Great price. Alexis Sanchez for free. Great price.
How's the price? Dancing.
Great price. Anything that's for free, what do you say?
I do not agree with this.
Listen,
You know, I do not agree with
Listen
this.
to me. Nothing is
Oh,
free.
it is free.
You pay the
It is
salary.
free. Oh,
You
the
pay
salary was
transfer.
very
Talk
cheap.
about
Hey,
the
listen,
transfers,
listen.
though.
Alexis
Peter,
Sanchez
Peter,
lowered his salary.
Peter, let me just remind you. This was Juventus fans a couple of years ago. Oh, we got Rabiot for free. We got Ramsey for free.
Yeah, but
and
we
now
spent
and
10
Khedira
million.
for free. Douglas Costa. And now we're like, we can't even get rid of them.
Listen,
We
he
got
said
to
without
their
spending
contract.
10
If
million on
somebody
the
gave it to you for free because they think they're not worth it.
No.
Let's
No,
continue.
don't dismiss me.
Free. You guys argue about the same
Nothing
shit.
is free. But anyway, the first result, it was just Sunday. Watching you guys playing, Conte making these 3 subs, 2 players at a time, and then he put the other guy in. What did you guys accomplish? If Atalanta can beat Lazio 4-1, and you guys are not even
Atalanta
time.
has the same players for the past 3 seasons.
You got 3 national teams.
No.
40 players.
When you play soccer, when you have new players, it's going to take time to be able to work. I agree that Inter did not play well, but Lazio, they didn't do much either. And this is the same Lazio that's been playing for the past 2 years. So I think what I was interested is Conte before the Inter game, he said, "Oh, I would much rather win a game 5-4. This is my new style of play."
Oh.
And then he did not do that.
He's
So
pathetic.
yeah, so I think Inter did not play that game. They were very, very just same thing as last year that I saw that I did not like was they got the 1-0. They had a chance to score the second, but they didn't really do enough. And Conte waits too long to make subs. You have quality on the bench now. You have no excuses.
That's
You
true.
got to change these guys. Gagliardini cannot be your starter. Conte, get it through your head, man.
He's never gonna change.
Gagliardini
He loves
on the
him.
bench.
So for the first time, you're criticizing this loser.
Listen, I can criticize him when he needs to be criticized.
Ooh.
And I've criticized him in the past also.
Yes.
But at the same time, Conte is the leader of this team. Conte is a good coach.
30 million.
Very good coaches can have bad games. Cannot read the game. Look at the Klopp. Klopp lost 7-2.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's one game.
When?
Someone
Sunday?
else.
7 goals
Yeah, I
against.
know.
When? Sunday?
Yeah.
Against who?
Aston Villa.
Aston Villa.
And
Okay.
Mourinho smacked Manchester United 6-1?
6-2.
6-2? I lost count.
6-1.
I lost count.
So what I'm trying to say is
Smacked.
there's the and then I was actually with Ludo. Ludo
Poor
said,
Ryan.
He was
you
so
know
mad.
Boskov? You remember Boskov?
Yeah.
Boskov said, I'd rather lose 1 game 6-1
Then 6
than
games.
6 games 1-0.
Yep.
So you got to be able to
Alright,
dust
great,
1
great.
game off and go to the next game.
Peter seems like a scientist out there
Yeah,
saying
that's
no.
not that's not
Okay,
the
next-
This does not-
next
this does
subject.
not apply to
Next
you.
subject.
Oh, it
This does
applies
not
to
apply
us.
to you.
We can have. So
You fall into traps every
if I
single
go to
podcast, by the way, Pete.
Inter,
Yeah, you really do.
last
All of you do.
year they maybe lost this game. Okay, this year we should have won it, but I'm okay with a tie. Not in that fashion, but it's okay. The season is long.
Guys, let's stay on topic.
I want to say the last thing
is
is my friend. I gotta tell him. I say,
I
Peter,
don't want to talk
You have
about the
a lot
games
of
yet.
last things
I really
to
don't
say.
wanna.
Peter, you're like a magician. You keep finding excuses. You're pulling excuses out of your hats all the time. They're so fluid.
That's funny.
The fluidity of you finding excuses for this loser
It's
of
magical,
Conte
right?
is unbelievable. I give you an A for that.
Thank you.
I'll give you a triple A. Okay?
Triple A.
You're gonna come fix your
Are you
car.
gonna come pick me up?
He's gonna win this season, right?
You're gonna come pick me up when my Vespa breaks
I
down?
will. Next question.
I want to continue with the topic.
Go ahead.
Juventus transfer market. What would you grade their signings? Let me remind you, they signed Artur, they signed McKennie, they signed Kulusevski, they signed Morata, they signed Chiesa, they signed. Who else did they sign? Is that
bad.
it?
Not
Did
bad.
I get everybody?
That's more than I thought. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I would say an A minus. I would give him an A minus.
I was.
And
You-
the minus is because of Chiesa. Chiesa is like not for me. I found difficult to find a spot for him. On
So
a
without
starting
Chiesa,
formation.
A?
I would be an A.
Anto, I think I'm gonna have to agree with you. If they got another midfielder like OR, like we're talking about, they probably would have got a nice grade. Or even Morata, I wasn't a fan of, but they still got a number 9 striker, so you can't complain too much. If they got a nice midfielder to complement, rather than taking one of those guys like Chiesa or whatever, they would have got a perfect score for me. But A minus, I think, fits the bill for them.
I do agree. I think that the left. I don't know the formation that Juventus is going to play, so it's hard to say.
But
the left back is a major concern for me with Alexandro injured, and even with Alexandro, it's a major concern for me. The defense has looked a little bit of a concern with Danilo, even though Danilo's looked really good. But more so for me, the center midfield was the big disappointment. I think the midfield has greatly improved. We got rid of Matuidi. We've added McKennie, who's all right, but we've added Artur, who's a great technical player, which is very good. I never really thought Juventus needed a crazy number 9, so I'm not going to go crazy about that. I would say that Juventus did a B+, A-. It's a little bit on the hinge over there. The left back, and a center mid, I would have given a much higher grade, and I think that we'll see if it does come into factor. Again, a lot of it will depend on the formation that Pirlo uses. If we're going off base last year, 4-3-3, I would have been much more harsh on Juventus, but based off of we don't know exactly where everybody's going to play, and a lot of people could be dynamic, like Peter was saying. It's hard to say. Who did I forget? Atalanta. What would Atalanta? I'm going to go on a limb. I say Atalanta's an A. They did not sell the big players. Almost everybody has stayed. They made 85 million euro. No, they made 100 million euros of players who are not in their starting 11. More so, they kept all of their guys.
Yep.
The only thing. See, I say A, but now I think a defender was a better defender. They got Romero, who I really liked. If they would have added one more top center back, I would have given it an A+.
Okay.
But all things considered, I'm giving them an A.
Okay, yeah, Marco, I probably have to agree with you because first of all, a lot of people didn't think they thought Atalanta were gonna dismantle the summer. I believed in them. I believed in the project, baby.
But COVID is mostly
I know,
reason.
but they still did it. They kept their starters. It sucks that Caldara got injured. They have Romero.
If they were planning to bet on Caldara, then that was the first mistake.
Yeah.
It's injuries, man. It's hard. It's
Caldara,
it's very hard.
Been
I know he's injury
a career
prone.
of injuries.
I get that. But yeah, they didn't sell their starters. I think that was the biggest thing.
A-.
I said what? A-?
You said A-.
What's yours, Anto?
I will say A- for the same reasons that Mike was saying before, and I will say I will add that against Mike's vision, I don't think that Atalanta needs the defense as much as you think, because Atalanta is an attacking
center back. I know they concede a lot.
It's an attacking team. Atalanta is going to score 5 or 6 goals, and it's going to take 2 or 3. Believe me. So Atalanta is going to overscore any opponent. It's going to try at least most of the game to overscore every opponent. Atalanta does not rely on defense to win the game. Atalanta is a unit that they attack and defense 10 players. That's what I see all the time. So I would say A- because they spent the money wisely and they didn't overbuy it, they didn't overspend. So they bought couple kids.
Yeah, they got a few players. Miranchuk, Lamar.
Yeah, but that we don't know. Lamar's, yeah. Peter, what's your rating?
I give a B, and I'll give you a reason why.
Oh boy, this is harsh.
No, but it stems to what Marco was saying. So first, Atalanta not selling anybody is great. It's a team that, especially on the Gasparini system, you have to understand what type of style he plays. The movement is very important. Also, your defenders, you're leaving your defenders 1v1 a lot of times because you overload the offensive side of the game. That being said, we hear about the sale, 25 million, 45 million, another 30 million. So you have money now, plus the Champions League. So you're looking at 140 million that you were able to make with Champions League and the sales of these 3 players. I'm not saying spend it all in one place.
40 million of it came the last day.
Okay, but besides that,
he was expected to
you're
go
being
on loan
picky.
to
okay. So let's take away the 40 million.
Okay.
We'll go to 100 million.
100 million.
Okay. Your ambitions have to start aligning with what you're doing. If you're in the Champions League the past 3 seasons, you have to make not 4 or 5 Champions League signings, but 1. I think the Atalanta fans can deserve 1 top signing.
Who would you have signed if you were Gasparini?
I'm not saying who I would have signed.
Nothing. Maybe just because they get money and they don't have anybody to buy. What do you do?
I think a legit center back, especially when you see Cagliari that was able to get a Godin and work out a deal.
Godin is not a top center back.
When you see Roma able to get Smalling for 15 million, Atalanta could have or should have gone after a center back on their list, whatever, that can play and add that
experience.
Not even experience, Champions League experience,
Okay, I get what you're saying.
but also something added to that team, and they could have used it. Also, in the midfield, I would have added maybe a more technical player.
In the center mid for
Don't forget that Ilicic is still not playing. Ilicic is coming back a little bit.
Yeah, but Ilicic doesn't play.
Wait, let me ask you something, Marco, and then
so I'm probably harsh on Atalanta, but that's just what I think. But I always love the way Atalanta.
So what was your rating?
Moves.
B.
I gave it B, but
Napoli.
Let me just finish up with Peter, and then we'll go to Napoli. First of all, let me tell you something. If Gasparini wanted something, there is no player in Europe that would not really like to play for Gasparini. Number one. Number two, Gasparini, if it's high on a player, it will go to the ownership and say, I want this guy here. Just do what you got to do, because this guy...
Ronaldo. He's high on Ronaldo.
Nah, I don't think so. If I plug this guy... Gasparini is not for big names.
No,
he's not.
He's not. He doesn't have the budget. Where's he going to go?
What are you talking about? You just said $140 million doesn't have the budget. Gasparini, if he's high on a player, he will tell the ownership, I said, I want this guy here. Get it for me.
I doubt it.
So Gasparini is relying on his style of play and on the youths, because they have a spectacular farm.
Yeah.
They have a spectacular farm, and he relies on players that are asshole on the field. So even a mediocre player, if he likes it, he will go and say, hey, listen, this guy here, $2 million, bring him over. We're gonna get him. So we're gonna teach him how to play soccer. We're gonna get a great investment out of this
Speaking
guy.
of football, since you mentioned football, Napoli. What was everybody's rating about Napoli? They got Osimhen, of course. They got Petagna. They also brought in
Bakayoko.
Bakayoko.
They kept Koulibaly.
They kept Koulibaly, which was a big key for them. They got rid of Alan.
Oh yeah.
They got rid of Alan. Yes. They brought in I can't think of the other guy that they brought in. But for me, I think that Napoli actually had a very good.
I give it an A-. I
think that they had a very good transfer market. I think
A-.
keeping players also for them is big. Antonio says an A-.
Yeah.
I'll say a B+. B+, again, it's in that range of B+ and A-. It's hard to give in the A range when you don't really sign somebody. You don't really sign too many great players. Osimhen, obviously the most expensive player in their history. And one thing that Ludovico was saying, and he pulled out the classic Galliani quote, Lozano is going to be like a new signing for Napoli.
Lozano's going to play big dividend for them.
So,
big time. Watch this year.
Which hopefully he is. So I would go for a B+ for them.
Okay. You know what? They got rid of Callejon. Callejon was a bust. The last 2 years didn't do much for Napoli.
Yeah, Callejon left. Overall, it was pretty. I think I'm gonna
copy me. A-.
No, I'm not gonna copy. I feel like I'm gonna regret not putting Napoli in the Champions League spot because they're looking so good right now. I feel like I want to swap them. I want to swap them with Lazio, but my rating would probably be a B+, A- around there. Koulibaly staying was the biggest thing, I think.
Peter?
No, I give it A- to Napoli. They got the players that they needed. You had Osimhen, who can be a real star. Petagna off the bench is amazing. You have Rahmani.
Oh, Rahmani, the center back.
From Hellas Verona was a starter. Now off the bench with Koulibaly and Manolas. So you have those guys coming off. I think they should have went after a left back. They don't have a left back with Gulam and Mario Rui. I'm not a big fan. You get Bakayoko, who's a very interesting midfielder that adds physicality to that Napoli team. Chucky Lozano, Politano, Insigne, Mertens.
They still have Milik, right?
Milik is not going to play this year.
Looks like he's out of the project with Gattuso.
I bet you he's going to be in the stands.
But besides that, you have Gattuso starting with this team from the beginning. I'm really interested to see what they're able to do. But I would have liked them to get a left back.
Answer my question, please.
Okay.
Milik is part of Napoli right now. He's getting the salary from Napoli.
Yes. His contract ends at the end of the season. They offered him a renewal. He did not take it. He wanted to leave. He wanted to go to Juventus. So most likely,
why wouldn't you use it?
Because
most likely play for his money.
Because most likely he's going to sit in the stands for the rest of the year. Again, we don't know anything yet.
Isn't there another transfer season in December?
Yes.
January.
So until January. Sorry, until January he could stay in the stands. Roma's Mercato, real quick. They got Smalling. They got rid of Under. They did not bring in El Shaarawy. Obviously, they kept Dzeko.
Left.
They got rid of Kluivert. Who else did they bring in?
Pedro.
There we go. I will give them a B.
Also Kumbula.
Kumbula. I will give them a B. I will give Roma a B.
I'll give them a B+ because for me, keeping Dzeko was a major thing for Roma. If Dzeko would have gone, well, just that was the franchise player for Roma right now. So you're taking Dzeko out of the equation. When Totti is gone, De Rossi is gone. There is no more franchise player over there. Florenzi, he was not even not even never. No one has put a Florenzi shirt on the back. I never seen a Roma fans with a Florenzi, with Florenzi on the back. So Florenzi was always a bust. I mean, it was just a streaky.
What was your rating?
I give a B plus.
B plus. Mike, what's your rating?
This is a strange one because I feel like they should have fortified and attacked more with Zaniolo out. Dzeko's getting a little, I don't know, rusty. Pedro's not the best. Mkhitaryan.
Pedro's
I don't know. But their defense very good in defense. Gumbula, Smalling, great signings. But it's gonna be very hard for them to score goals this season. So it's good that they have a good defense because they're not gonna score a lot. B minus.
Pete, what's your rating?
I disagree with you, Mike. I think a B plus. I love Dzeko. I think even though in the beginning he hasn't been as Dzeko-like, he's gonna score goals. You had Pedro Mkhitaryan, who have experience playing in the Premier League. Pedro with Barcelona also. These are guys that are very tricky that can give service to Dzeko. You have Lorenzo Pellegrini, who I think this year is going to be very important. It sucks that Zaniolo is out because he would have added something to that midfield. Veretout is a quick, crafty midfielder. Cristante also being able to.
Yeah, Mancini on defense is an excellent.
I was about
player.
to say being able to have Mancini, Smalling, Kumbula is a very good defense. With also Ibanez now that probably goes on the bench or alternates with one of the three. I like this Roma team. Now
Roma too.
It's just a matter of being more consistent. This is Fonseca's second year. This is Mkhitaryan's second year in Serie A. So like Lozano, I give him a pass the first year. Now he's got to do better. They do not have a second striker for Dzeko. Could bite them in the back. But overall, I think for the change of ownership and so much change within Roma, they did okay. And we'll see how it goes until January. B plus.
B plus. Let's go on to the situation. And before we go there, I want to tell everybody, make sure you are liking this video if you're enjoying the content and subscribe. We're doing a lot of live streams. What's everybody's rating for Lazio's transfer market? They got Muriqi. They brought in Fares. They brought in Pepe Reina. They got Pereira. They kept, obviously, Ciro Immobile. They were trying to sign for a long time David Silva, which obviously did not go through. They kept Correa. They kept the Cherby, who was really linked with leaving. What would everybody's rating of Lazio be?
C plus.
I would say a B.
C plus.
C minus. I don't like the move.
I think B minus overall. They kept their players, but they could have fortified a little bit better overall.
Yeah.
Here in Champions League.
I know. They should have done a little bit better for Champions League.
They didn't reinforce themselves. They didn't do much.
That's true. I'm